Look where you are now, 5 years, right, at Szechuan House. Reflecting back to who you were when you came here with no experience in the industry, how have you grown? How have you evolved? Like, what were some of the things you were doing then that you just shake your head at, and what are you doing differently now as far as your evolution goes?
Well, at the very beginning, I was in the trenches, and I will not mind getting in the trenches, but of course, and it does take that. I mean, and you definitely have to go into it with an open mind. You are the front of the house. You are the back of the house. You are the electrician. You are the ice machine fixer. You are the plumber. You are like whatever the restaurant needs you to do. You gotta do it, because unless you have just beaucoup of capital that you're sitting on that you can just hire anybody to do it for you, which would not be wise to blow your budget that way. You got to figure out how to do stuff out on your own. But I've definitely learned to communicate better. I do feel like I've grown as a leader, and the relationships that I have with my team, the understanding of where we are, and that's a constant growth. I've become more confident as an individual myself. I've done a lot of self-reflection. When you said, did I hit my head? And I said, I bought a house. is real, because when I bought that house, it was the first time in the last 5 years where I didn't have to come into the restaurant. And so I was actually away from the restaurant almost for 40 days, 40 nights. It was like an extra, existential crisis experience that I had. But as I'm moving into this brand new home, I'm unpacking 30 years of my life, of all the stuff that I've accumulated, thought processes, physical things. And let me tell you, it was emotional.
I bet. I can imagine.
But kind of taking that time of meditation, if you will, is so important, because you do need that time to process. It's like you're bombarded with so much information, and every day in the restaurant business or in life in general, you're bombarded with more information. It's so hard to extract what is important. Why does this make sense? And a lot of time it's just keep going, go. And then you're like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah.
So that time did allow me to kind of really process and reflect. Why did I date these guys? Why did I make that mistake? Why did I hire this person? And then you can see clearly the dots. Like, I mean, your brain is this sponge, and you're trying to pick and choose each piece of information that actually makes sense and look at, okay, that's why this happened. I will not do this anymore. Yeah,
it's good. Like, sometimes we need to slow down and just absorb and process. And we're just so, like you said, go, charge ahead. And it's like, even like on the way down here, like I was talking with Casey and we were talking about success. He's like, I think you're successful. I'm like, I don't. I feel like I'm not there yet. I'm just looking to the future. But you have to stop and process and be like, you have to like look back. You have to look backwards. You're like, I'm looking forwards, but you have to stop and be like, well, holy shit, I was way back there.
Right.
I forgot how far I've come.
That's right. That's right.
And that's so powerful. It's so important to do that, to get that perspective, to breathe and realize you are doing the right thing.
That's right. That's right.
I love
it. And it's a balance of staying humble so that you can keep pushing yourself forward and always knowing that there is room for improvement, but also taking the time to give yourself enough credit that you deserve, because a lot of times we are our own biggest enemy. Like there's so many times I have conversations with my parents and I realize I get real emotional, and I'm like, well, if I have this conversation with anybody else, I could give two shits. It's not going to get me all teary-eyed and emotional. Why is this making me feel this way? And I realize it's because I have some sort of inadequacy feeling internally that's kind of bringing up these emotions that have nothing to necessarily, well, it has everything to do with them, but not necessarily that specific conversation topic.
If you enjoyed this video, please help us out. You can do it by liking, sharing, subscribing, and hitting that bell icon. It really helps out. And don't forget, there's a complete archive of every episode with show notes at restaurantunstoppable.com.